This tutorial covers the setup options for Sentinel. You can set up, in logical order, the site, the locations, and then the alerts. This gives you complete control over the client and how Sentinel works for you. Let's begin. Edit the site here. You can change displayed text and add your company logo. Decide what sensor data is visible on the overview and stakeholder pages, and so on. Use the X to quit without changes, or click Finish to commit the changes. Stopping all active bindings is not recommended. It will cease data download of all attached monitors to the locations. Deleting the site is also not recommended unless you are finishing the Sentinel operating period. The next step is to add or review locations for monitors. In most cases these will be noise monitors, but can also be air quality, vibration, or have a Barnell directional monitor. Review existing locations by clicking on their names in the sidebar. An information summary is given. Adding a new location is done by clicking the plus icon, and you must have an available monitor that is already being used to add to this location. Let's take a look at a site as an example using the Edit Location button. The location has a meaningful name and description for ease of reference, and below this is the option to add or remove a picture of the monitor at the location. Next is the physical location. We can use address lookup for locating the monitor, or directly enter the latitude and longitude, or drag and drop the dot on the map for precise locating. If your solution has a weather sensor, configure its operation here. In this example, the location is using the weather data from a nearby location. Here is where you can override site options to hide the monitor if desired. Next is an option to hide the monitor on the RTC app. Finally, a summary page shows you the options chosen. One panel not displayed in this review is the directional noise setup. Now shown here. This is where you define the angle of interest for the Barnell. In this example, all noise sources outside the arc will not be considered as part of any warning or exceedance alert. The next step is to add resources to the site, such as noise, air, or vibration monitors. The process for connecting resources is covered in a different tutorial. It is assumed they'll be available at this time. And for simplicity, we'll only look at a noise resource. Click the plus sign to begin, and a list of available noise resources is displayed and their status. You can change a resource if you've moved a monitor or add a new unused monitor. Next, confirm the settings for the monitor. Most of these can be left as default if you are unsure of the requirement, and use the info pop-ups for more detail. And some of the latter options will increase the data in the reports that are generated for Sentinel. Ticking the advanced option at the bottom will allow you to make further configuration for the monitor. And these are things such as the time of calibration, the kind of half-second data that is required, a choice of extra reports or audio, and whether the monitor can send real-time audio and the metrics involved. You can include system data that will be sent back as part of the reports, configure the audio recording options and length, and if you have a weather unit included, set your parameters for weather data. Set miscellaneous max levels and choose your event level parameters. Finally, the summary of the important details for you to check. Tick Show Everything to review any of the advanced details you set. After this, clicking Finish will lock the monitor to the location and start taking its data as part of the Sentinel operation. So review the settings, and if satisfied, click Finish. Similar to the noise resources, if the unit has air quality or vibration sources, then use the following new buttons to add them, similar to the way we added a noise unit. The final option we'll look at is how to set up alerts. Alerts will show up in the real-time control app so that other users can respond to them. And we'll look at setting up a simple noise exceedance alert with a lower and upper level in dB. Click New Alert. A number of alert types are available. We'll choose an LAQ alert. Give the alert a name, and this should reflect whether the alert is to be used at a single site or a generic alert for multiple sites. A short name and description will appear in different places on Sentinel, most notably the real-time control app. The next page is where you can apply the alert to the current location or for all locations, including new ones added later. For the next panel, set the window size parameters and leave as default if unsure. The next panel is where the actual levels are set. Select the decision tree template or customize it. Click on the levels to be able to set them. Set the warning and exceedance levels. Obviously, the warning level will be lower than the exceedance. Next, you can set who is contacted if the alert triggers, and these are users who have been added to the system. Finally, review the alert information, checking that it is correct. If so, then click Finish. This gives you an overview of the primary functions of the Noise Sentinel client, setting up a site, a location, and alerts. For more information, please contact one of our service representatives.